This could be a very different game. I think this is the first time we've ever loaded in without an intro.
Yeah. Just a dry load-in.
It feels very familiar, honestly. Looks like solo queue. Okay, checking the runes. Once again, the
tempo.
phase rush. Yeah, okay, so another lethal tempo, phase rush Jace. Everything else looking pretty normal.
But lethal tempo Nocturne.
Ah, yeah, that's fine.
I don't feel like you're doing a whole lot of auto-attacking.
No, it's more so that you can still build tanky and then not have to worry about building any damage, really. I think the lethal tempo Nocturne's fine. Used to see that back in the day a lot.
Alright.
It's also really good for dueling if you want to fight early scuttles or something. But, I mean, we'll see how much use he gets out of it. Because I agree. Feels like team fights, you're not going to auto a whole lot. But what else can you really take? I mean, there aren't that many good keystones on the champ.
I almost feel like you could just go Hail of Blades.
Maybe.
Has a really nice rune tree as well. Zombie Ward, Ultimate Hunter.
Ultimate Hunter is definitely good.
Although you don't get all that much KP a lot of the time. But if you do, definitely speeds up the trajectory of a win. Now, importantly, bush control early is afforded to J-Team because of that level 1 and how it played out. Glitter Lance is going to be the start for the Lulu. Oftentimes you do see the shield. Oh, hook goes wide, so that is definitely a lot of pressure now afforded to J-Team's bot lane. Because Blitzcrank now becomes a pinata. Fights mid, bone plating popped, and mission definitely coming off worse for wear. Kind of opposite of what we saw in the Maple versus Tristana matchup.
I think the big difference there is just the level 1 versus level 2, because I think we saw Maple just kind of use the E to push Trist away so she couldn't get up to 3 stacks at the bomb.
Yeah.
But there at level 1, obviously you can't do that. So if you do Q onto her, you're always going to hit 3 stacks. Obviously the phase rush prevents the 4th. It still feels pretty tough.
Yeah. Now Hanabi getting the push top, that's no surprise. Level 1 Rumble not really that exciting, not very strong, but as you see now, he hits level 2 and he's poking away with these Electro Harpoons and taking good chunks out of this Jax's health bar.
Yeah, I do like it. Just kind of softening him up. Now the Nocturne won't be on that side of the map, so not much to speak of there. Ooh, trade comes up mid.
She goes forward. Hana's in the area though. That shield means that the trade definitely goes in favor of mission.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. That did reveal Ivern though, which I think is actually quite important because I don't think there were any level 1 wards placed. At least I didn't see them on the camps. So you're not actually too sure where Ivern starts.
Pings actually go out to the bot side jungle there from J-Team, so maybe they didn't realize he went up top.
I mean, they should have seen his buffs, right?
He didn't have red yet, but like
so
Ivan can just do Ivan can just do buff instantly, no matter where, or he can temper it and come back down the other way.
Yeah, but they should know he has to be on the top side. I feel like there really is enough information, and they're getting the bot scuttle, so I think they should know now.
Yeah.
With that bot and mid priority, makes it pretty hard to really get in the river anyway. Lava will spot out, and it wasn't already confirmed. It certainly is now. Looks like most junglers are just going to recall. And this wave is going to start pushing back out. And yeah, Rumble damage is not balanced.
Oh, hook lands. Enso should be getting rooted up here. Actually, the polymorph comes out in time, so Chris Carter can't get that third feather. But he stays around a little bit too long. Does end up getting rooted up, and a little bit more chip damage there found from Bruce. Oh, Driver doesn't want to overheat, so doesn't commit the Q there. Flame Spitter will stay off of cooldown, but do see Hana in the area. Bruce pops Ghost early. Was feeling a little bit threatened. And Hana still in the area. Bruce and Enso have to be so careful.
Blitzcrank has flash.
Yeah, all sums available. Graviton, hook goes wide. Flash, oh my god, that was an instant reply. I think that was just straight prediction.
Yeah, I think they both realized there. Byron spends a lot of time bot, and that might be trouble for Hanabi in the top side.
Yeah, we do see Nocturne there, cutting off the wave. And Hanabi flashing away, but will still get feared up. In fact, will.
That's still so annoying, though. Just look how much you lose in the flash as well. And I think that's almost a direct punishment. Well, one, the lane, but two, just how much kind of time that Ivan spent on the bot side. Was there sitting in the lane for a full minute, I think.
Yeah, and I want to say, I don't know off this game if I should be complimenting Taco or Driver, because this Rumble vs. Jax looks a whole lot different to the last one we saw. Ooh, okay, I don't even know if he needed to flash there, but in any case, Minji will force out the flash from this Ivan. Orca, though.
He hits these.
Yeah, definitely lands that. Minji might be able to flash away. In fact,
no.
the shock glass, sorry.
Just didn't have jump, so I
Yeah.
think if he'd hit that and committed, it probably would have made him flash.
Definitely would have, but with that accelerated shock blast missing, does mean that Minji will stay relatively safe. Jax, though, looking for something here. Driver going to have to be careful, or does Hana be? Hana's in the area, Driver. Oh, but so is Lalva. Both junglers pathing around this top side, but it is ultimately going to be a trade in favor of Driver. Getting that flash off of Jax is now Minji heading up into the area. He knows that there is no flash available for both the Ivern and the Jax.
It looks like nothing will come of it.
Hana's wasted so much time just shadowing lanes.
And it's tough, right? I mean, he does have some difficult matchups, but it also feels like he might just be getting outlaned here a little. Is the Tia and the Dirk picked up by Mission, though, so that should be a lane that can start going in your favor. And you are kind of expecting, I think, bot lane and top to be difficult matchups and to kind of come online just a little bit later, or find a way to make some picks with the Blitzcrank, maybe around the Drag or the Herald. I think the Lulu actually was a Smurf pick, though, because not often do you have an Aphelios versus no threat, really, in this meta. And Hana, he's looking bot again.
We spotted out, though, so Bruce should be...
Yeah, I think this might just be to help crash this wave ahead of Nocturne 6.
Oh, instead, the root will land here onto Bruce, and he's going to have to flash away, but he does not have the health to survive, and it's first blood now, going over to Chris Carter.
Oh, that
Massive misplay.
Yeah, that is extremely big. Is a kill, first blood that goes over to Chris Carter. A lot of gold, dying ahead of the Herald timing as well, and it kind of makes all of Hana's time investment worth it, because I think that he's had to spend so much time babysitting the lanes. I think even this is to make sure that that they can get this wave under before Nocturne hits 6, and Bruce, he feels confident, even with Ivan there, but the root comes through.
Chris Carter played that really nicely.
Yeah. Really, I don't know, you say it's unfortunate, but it is just disrespect, I feel like. And it kind of evens up everything here for DCG, despite having a relatively poor laning phase, I think, across the board.
Have a look at Bruce's items.
Just a Gale Force rush, maybe?
Gale Force does it?
I think it does.
Is it BF Zeal? It might be. You might be right.
Yeah, I think it's that. I can't quite remember.
I almost feel, though, you want the boots against the Blitz. A lot of the time. Especially as one of these more immobile AD carries, but it is going to be wave clear coming out of mission. Will force quite some minions to be missed here by Minji, as Overheat will be committed here from Driver. Still, though, lane definitely in his favor, up 20 CS, and it's the Merc Treads early forced out of Hanabi's Jax, which means this Jax is going to take a very, very long time to get to that really item spike of the Divine Sunderer. Oh.
Yeah, it does feel good. Hanabi, he might be in trouble here. Level 6 Nocturne. Hana isn't here quite yet.
Flash not available either for Jax. It is going to be Paranoia used early. Equalizer misses. Driver will miss it, but it is going to be likely him taking down at least the one. On the other side of the map, though, it's Bruce going down yet again. Orca flashing away, so he will not be going down to that tower. And Hana trying to find Lalva, but Daisy will not have the speed to do so. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade cross map.
It is just a trade. It's hard to say who this is really better for, because I think the kills on Xayah might be more valuable. But at the same time, obviously, it looks like it will be a Herald going over to J-Team. I think maybe were some bot plays picked up by Chris Carter, but it's insane how much that bot play from before has snowballed, right?
Yeah.
Because he lost the flash in that play before, and that kind of leads to his demise there as well. So DCG, they probably have no right really having this bot lane lead, but small mistake from Bruce. Cost him a lot.
Just disrespect again, really.
Yeah, he tries to stay, even though he knows his Lulu isn't here. And of course this is picked up on by DCG. With no flash near Felios, there's just nothing he can do.
Yeah. Bruce going to have to try and stabilize somehow because his top side is looking really strong. Really, he is the weak point at this stage. Lulu, though, does have both Sums as well as Wild Growth available, so a little bit more survivability available to him as Orca.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah. It almost felt like if Minji tried to buffer, would have just been jumping into the hook.
For. Okay, no dragon up just yet. I think that's fine. Both teams can kind of give time and... Oh, this is an interesting setup. I don't think I've ever seen Blitz with Ivan before, but honestly, it kind of creates some more areas that might be very dangerous.
Yeah, these dangerous vision pockets.
Top CS now is getting out of control.
Yeah.
You know, Hanami dives on another wave. I think we are starting to kind of see this a bit more of giving up that first drag to dive top.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I think with the champs being played, just the leads you can get right now is pretty insane. I mean, just look, he's getting cooked up under the tower there, level 9 versus 8. CS lead is at 32.
Yeah, and you have to think too, like while, of course, as the game gets later, the Xayah impact in team fights is likely to be higher than the Rumble. The Rumble, while your Aphelios is behind, can oftentimes carry you through that mid-game to the point where your Aphelios does start to get items. Look at Hanabi. He's not even able to walk anywhere near his minion wave. And this is a whole different look compared to our last game where we saw the exact same matchup.
It is. Very destructive. Credit to Mission, who's managed to keep his tower perfectly healthy as well as take 2 plates away from the Tristana. Is down a bit of CS, but it's kind of expected. Trist just CS's a bit too easily. And more members being put up towards top, so it looks like J-Team, they don't care about dragons whatsoever.
Hanabi.
Yeah, Hanabi is going to be, I feel like, almost useless in this game.
Gonna use the Paranoia. Leap Strike will be followed in the Fear. Will not be able to land, but it's just more CS and a tower now. And importantly, I think, giving some of that gold over to Minji can be really impactful.
Yeah,
as you already know, Bruce, pretty far behind. You need some AD damage somewhere, and Minji could be that threat. Even now, you're trying to defend this, but Equalizer available as well as your 3 members strong. Riftfield will find another crash. And Mission getting so low. You've got 4 members, 5 even coming up here. It's gonna be a tower trader, but that Equalizer's finding so much damage onto Mission. The hook, probably not who you want to hit. His driver just punishes Orca there. And it's gonna be 1 tower found bot here for Cascada, so a lot of gold to him. Actually, it's not even. Driver just gonna teleport down there and stop it.
Wow, and it feels like all this impact, all this kind of time that Lava put top is really paying off now. Just so much gold gathered there in the top side. Now it is a second drag, gonna picked up for DCG, which will be problematic later on, but you have to think that J-Team are more than happy with what they've got for it.
Yeah, I think by next Dragon, you might even have 2 items on this Rumble. And at that point, definitely the strongest member of the Rift. Won't even be particularly close. So I think you'll finally give away this one and then start contesting from here. Especially now with how broken open that top lane is.
Yeah, it does look pretty tough. But there is going to be a very sizable 80 carry lead as well.
Yeah.
Obviously was Bruce who was weak-sided. Almost by his own doing, I have to feel. Because after he made those, especially the first mistake, it is just always going to be very hard to play through bot. And tower plate's actually completely even. Of course, not considering that there was a second tower gobbled up. Doesn't have any plates on it. Imagine that. What if the tier 2s had plates as well?
Why don't they just put plates on all the towers? Speed this game up.
True.
Oh, okay.
Driver had flash.
Look at how much damage 1 harpoon does.
It's pretty crazy. Minji's going to grab himself a bot tower as well. So pulling further and further ahead, at least in gold.
Oh, just going to tank it up. Should be able to pick this one up, Will. Hook, and so flashes away. I think that's important. You don't want to go down here. It's Driver, though, receiving a lot of attention. Cascada trying to do the damage that he can. And with Ivan staying very healthy in his own right.
That kind of mid-fight as well, that feels like that's really where the Ivan, Jace, and Blitz really pop off. Just all stacked up there. As Mission's going to answer the side lane. Now, critically, I think Mission can still answer Rumble in the side. I'm not sure if he can beat Rumble, but can answer it at least. It feels like Hanabi, though, it's going to be so long before he's useful. Almost feels like a 4v4 at this point, right? Like Bruce Aphilio's pretty out of the game, at least for now. But that's honestly kind of fine, right? Enzo can put his buffs onto Minji instead. Yeah. It's not even too big an issue.
I think that's probably what he's likely to do. As Cascada aims here to take down another tower, actually the first tower, in this mid lane. Now that's an important tower to take. Obviously, opens up a lot more control, and when you are playing this Ivan, Blitzcrank, Jace comp, you do want to have map control. Allows you to poke more, look for hooks.
They do grab it. And Herald just going to go over to the way of J-Team. They can use this to break mid, which I think would be a pretty big turning point as well, because they've lost their mid tier 1, which does make it quite hard to contest the third drag.
They will likely lose bot here. Hana just shadowing Mission this whole way down the lane.
Yeah, it makes sense. Very difficult against the Nocturne to play a side lane well. But currently, I think DCG, they've got really good bot side vision. They've got that tier 1 mid advantage. If they can hold on to that, J-Team could have a tough time entering the river to actually contest. It is that Gale Force picked up by Bruce.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be a lot on Driver and Minji to win this next fight for them. Because if they give over 3 drags for DCG, it would almost feel like the complete opposite of how DCG normally play. You know, kind of losing lanes, but getting the drags. Maybe turning over a new leaf.
Cristata feeling fairly comfortable. Just sitting there in that red side jungle was good head mid now. Have to see where Larva decides to place this Herald. With a minute and 30 seconds into the Dragon, he may opt to just try and hold it and use it for pressure so they can set up some priority around the Dragon.
Yeah.
Would make a lot of sense because you don't want to be just giving over. Although maybe he's just looking to put it down here. He's going to be using that Paranoia onto Mission, who will likely go down as 1 HP, but Minji will find that last auto attack. He's going to have to walk through this tower though. And in the meantime, Equalizer used. It will get Cascada's Ghost, and with the Herald going down and Minji in the area, should be able to secure themselves this tower, perhaps.
Yeah, no creeps.
Looking to stop it. Okay, it won't get the tower.
I think this might actually be better for DCG. There was a lot invested in that. No ultis on J-Team. None at all. And they lost the top tower for it, and I think they've also lost their control over drag. So I think this is looking like a really good dragon fight for DCG. I hope they try and fight it. Still though, yeah, Rumble, I don't think it'll be up in time. The cooldown's not super long. It's ticking away.
Be interesting to see how close he is to getting that Night Harvester too.
Yeah. Okay, TV comes through, so J-Team want to fight. They don't have any ults though, and they are a pretty ult-reliant comp. I think the sooner DCG start this up, the better. They need to realize that they have to do this quickly. 2 items on their AD carry as well. With an Ivan, it's not easy to access Cascada. Rumble ult still down. I think more than 15 seconds away.
Oh, Minji does get hooked, but he's actually rocket jumping that direction anyway, and they really quickly take out Orca. Minji flashes away, will not be caught by that Featherstorm. His mission is going to come and look for some snipes, but he doesn't connect on the first one. And with that, it's now J-Team trying to get pressure over this mid wave as DCG does fight back for it. Mission, importantly, did uses teleport there, and teleport does come in through here for Minji as well. Driver's Equalizer very close to being up, and it will be a 4v5 if they're able to get there in time. But with how quickly this is going down, it's not likely they'll be able to. And now Paranoia used Equalizer. It does find a little bit of damage, but perhaps not perfect, but it's Minji. Minji's finding all the damage he needs. His mission's the next target. Orca comes over, tries to disrupt everything he can, but it's going to be costing him his life. 3 kills found there, but importantly, third Dragon does go over to the side of DCG.
Still though, big win for J-Team. They're going to trade a lot back off it. And I think DCG are very lucky that that Baron is not up, because definitely would have done it. And I really think DCG should have been able to clean that up. I think the Blitz positioning at the start was definitely not optimal. And it's at this point, right, where you're kind of just, sure, Blitz has landed some decent hooks this game, but it's really, this is where you're wanting something like the Alistar, right? Like something very consistent where it's not almost luck-based, whether you're going to get a good pick or not. But 3 drags to DCG. The question is, are they going to be able to actually contest?
Driver's so close to Night Harvester.
Pink's dropped in the river, and Jace needs to be a little careful. He's got Hana hovering him, of course, but we're going to replay. And Orca, I think he feels like he's made the pick, but they can't quite get Minji. I wonder if maybe Cascada should have flashed forward with that. It would have split him from the Iron, so it's hard to say. But he did have Ghost going. I think he might have been okay. But here, you know, nothing left on this Xayah. Has Flash, but critically no ult. And just can't go anywhere, right? Nocturne's so good against 80 carries that can't peel themselves. And with that ult, Xayah cannot. The big loss there for DCG. Not unrecoverable. I think they do have 3 drags. But I do feel like J-Team are in pretty firm control.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing how these team fights go, and that was not a very good ult from Driver either, so if he is able to connect with a nice equalizer, looks like J-Team should be able to just steamroll a fight. Minji now does have his Navori up as well as a BF sword in his pocket, likely to be a bloodthirsty, you have to think. And this Jax, not getting a whole lot done. This is 1-1, but when compared to this Rumble, who has now finished his Night Harvester,
yeah,
certainly feels very, very weak.
And you are expecting that, right, with how weak-sided the Jax was, but still, it is just kind of the reality of the game right now. Well, 2 minutes on that next drag, and I think that's where both teams will probably be looking. Oh, some poke lands.
Oh, Paranoia comes out. There's going to be a double knock-up from that Wild Growth here, and an instant double kill for Minji. Another kill is found as Minji does rocket jump out to get away from that Jax. And that's going to be a clean 4 for 0 and Baron now for Team J-Team.
I think with that, they might just run away with the game as well. Feels pretty hard to kind of come back into this one. The Nocturne, once again, punishing this time a no flash on Jace. And it does feel tough, right? Like, I think playing Jace versus Nocturne, very difficult. But it really feels like all these fights where flashes are being lost is just making the next one even harder. I think DCG almost need to just chill out and wait for everything to be up and then take the fight, because I think they'd win it, or at least have a decent shot. But all that's happening here is time and time again, whether it's a Xayah ult missing, a flash down somewhere, people are getting picked, the Wild Growth as well, knocks up 2, and so much follow-up. Minji even once again being hooked, but not a problem whatsoever, he gets out. And I think from this point, now J-Team, they feel unstoppable.
Yeah, it is 1 minute off this Dragon. Perhaps DCG's biggest chance back into this game.
Does definitely feel like their last hope to pick that up. And what's Hanabi cooking with the build? What is the I don't even know what the moon plate, is that what it's called? The winged moon plate? What does that build into?
The era? No.
It doesn't build into Hullbreaker, right?
No, Hullbreaker is just Phage Pickaxe.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not sure.
Well, we'll have to find out.
Well, 30 seconds on the drag, but I don't think J-Team are going to let DCG anywhere near them. And they've got a lot of push. In fact, Mission's top right now. They might just be able to break open the base.
Hook lands on the Driver. Driver does have flash, but that's not the guy you want to hook. Look at Driver's just burning this man down.
They can keep going here, I feel like. If they don't
Baron.
base.
Equalizer available. Paranoia does come through as teleport back. Recall does come through here for Mission. But look at the damage Cascada's taking. He's so low before the fight even begins, and the buffer there on the hook for Minji means that he's staying safe. They are going to recall. They're going to claim their one Nexus tower. Oh, Mission though.
Minji has TP.
Yeah, Minji does get away here as J-Team walking forward. Hana staying alive, but it's going to be this teleport in, and Mission, you are not Maple. You are not as strong as that man. He's looking for the flank, but he's polymorphed. He's not going to find anything. Minji finds 1, Minji finds 2. It's going to be eventually Lalva finding 1. A triple now is going to be found for Minji. It's a clean ace. It's going to be J-Team securing their spot at 2nd place.
It is.